Gross domestic product, GDP, is one of the most commonly used economic indicators in the world. It's a measure of the total value of goods and services produced within a country's borders during a specific period of time, usually a year. In other words, GDP tells us how much a country is producing and earning from what it produces. There are three main approaches to calculating GDP: the expenditure approach, the income approach, and the production approach. The expenditure approach adds up all of the money spent on goods and services by consumers, businesses, the government, and foreign buyers. The income approach adds up all of the incomes earned by workers, business owners, and investors in the production of goods and services. The production approach adds up the value of all goods and services produced by businesses and the government. GDP is an important tool for assessing a country's economic performance and productivity. The higher the GDP, the more prosperous and productive the economy is considered to be. GDP can also be used to compare the economic performance of different countries. However, it is important to be cautious when making such comparisons. For example, countries with different populations and levels of economic development will have different GDPs. This means that comparing the GDP of a small, developed country with that of a large, developing country may not provide an accurate picture of their relative economic performance. GDP can be broken down into different sectors of the economy. These sectors include agriculture, industry, and services. Agriculture includes farming, fishing, and forestry. Industry includes manufacturing, mining, and construction. Services include everything from education and healthcare to finance and transportation. In most developed countries, the services sector tends to be the largest, followed by industry and agriculture. It is important to note that GDP alone does not necessarily tell the whole story of a country's economic health. For example, GDP does not take into account income inequality or the distribution of wealth within a country. It also does not account for the environmental impact of economic activity. In addition, GDP can be affected by a number of factors, including population size, exchange rates, and inflation. Despite its limitations, GDP is still an important tool for assessing a country's economic performance. A higher GDP generally indicates a more prosperous and productive economy, while a lower GDP can indicate an economy that is struggling or in recession. It can also help policymakers make informed decisions about economic policy and investments.